Yes, and you have to allow that I record it. Hi, hi Murilo. Hello. Okay, so let me start. So while I speak, I would like you to turn off your mics. And then if you have any questions, please turn it on and ask me the question you need. Or you can also type in the chat. Hi. So let's start. So I decided today to talk about FCE and TKT. They are both Cambridge examinations because I believe they bring lots of benefits to teachers, to ELT professionals like us. Yeah. First of all, let's talk about CPD, continuing professional development. As ELT professionals, we have to have a consistent CPD plan. And in our area, the professional development covers two main areas from my point of view. Any ideas? What are the two main professional development areas we have to focus on if we want to be better teachers? Language and methodology. Yes, Murilo. Any other suggestion? Okay. Okay, Murilo, thank you for your contribution. Yes, you are right. I think we have to go through language development forever because we'll never know everything. And also teaching skills development. We need to read, study, understand what are the strategies, what are the methodologies, what are the approaches, what are the possibilities, how does this relationship, teacher, student, teaching, learning happens, yeah? So the more we study, the better professionals we become. And I think they really go together because we have to align our expertise in the language with teaching skills, yeah, with teaching knowledge. Because if we are not aware of the language, every class we teach, there will be something missing. There will be something that we could have done better for our learners, but it was not possible because of lack of knowledge, lack of language awareness. Yeah. And the same happens with teaching skills. Maybe there are ways of doing things that we won't know if we don't study that deeply. Yeah. And this is part of our job. Yeah. English is our subject matter. Yeah, we have to go deeper and deeper. We have to study forever and ever the English language. Yeah, that's why today I brought two Cambridge certifications. FCE. FCE was formerly called like that, okay? Nowadays, it's not called FCE anymore. It's called B2 First, okay? But I think it is more famous as FCE than B2 First. And the TKT. Both are Cambridge ESO examinations, which means you can get an international certificate if you decide to take these two tests. Nice, Fabiane. Great. Okay, so let's start talking about Cambridge B2 first, FCE. This is a language exam. It's going to test your level of English, right? How? B2 First is Cambridge's most popular exam, and it is accepted by thousands of businesses and educational institutions worldwide. It assesses all the areas of English. Yeah, it's going to test your reading skills, writing, listening, speaking, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. Everything is covered in this exam. It certifies level B2 according to the Common European Framework of Reference. Yes. And the test lasts a total of 3 hours and a half. And what is the format of this exam? B2 First is divided into papers. Paper 1 is the reading and use of English paper. It takes 1 hour and 15 minutes. It has 7 parts and 52 questions. And the questions are for reading comprehension and also grammar and vocabulary. This is paper 1. 52 questions in 1 hour, 15 minutes. As an example, I have here one of the exercises you will find in the FCE exam, paper 1. As an example, we have a sentence given. A very friendly taxi driver drove us into town. There is a word given, which is driven, and you cannot change this word. And then you have a second sentence that you have to complete. The thing is, you have to change words, but keep the meaning of the first sentence using the given word. So with different words, but saying the same thing, the answer is, we were driven into town by a very friendly taxi driver. Yes? In this gap, you must use between 2 and 5 words, not less than 2, not more than 5. And when you have contractions like can't, don't, they count as 2 words. Right, so let's try. Now you try. We have here, Joan was in favor of visiting the museum, and the given word is idea. I'll give you 1 minute to think about the answer. Any suggestion? Can you type in the chat or say? Okay. Nice, nice. Thank you. Yes, you were right. John thought it would be a good idea to go to the museum. So this is one kind of activity you will find in paper 1. reading and use of English. The next paper, paper 2, is going to test your writing skills. It lasts 1 hour and 20 minutes, and it has 2 parts. You have to write 2 pieces of writing using between 140 to 190 words each. So 1 hour, 20 minutes to write 2 texts with 140 to 190 words each. They can be articles, emails, letters, reports, reviews, and essays. Part 1 is an essay, always an essay. It's compulsory, and you have a topic, and you need to write using 2 given ideas and 1 that you have to create. Part 2, you always have options, and you can choose between 3 options. Choose the one that suits you better, that you feel more comfortable writing about. In this case, the options were a review, an article, or an email. Yeah. So writing skills. The next paper for B2 first is the listening paper. You have 40 minutes, and in 40 minutes you have to answer 30 questions while listening to extracts. All of them are repeated twice. So you have to be able to understand a range of spoken materials, news programs, presentations, everyday conversations, and so on. Okay, let's try. Here we have an example of listening task, and I'll give you 1 minute to read the 2 exercises, and I'll play the recording for you to choose the correct option. 30 seconds to read. Okay, I'll play the recording. You're going to listen to each number twice, and you have to choose A, B, or C.
You will hear people talking in 8 different situations. For questions 1 to 8, choose the best answer, A, B, or C. Question 1. You hear a message on a telephone answering machine.
Oh, hi, it's me, John. Sorry to miss you. You must have already left for work. Look, I wondered if you wanted to come away for the weekend. There'll be about 10 of us, including someone called Sam Brent, who says he was at college with you, and he remembers that you were brilliant at rock and roll. They've decided it'll be on October the 9th, Friday night till Sunday. Anyway, I'll put the details in the post. I know you're busy at the moment, so don't feel you have to come, but just let me know one way or the other when you can. Talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, hi, it's me, John. Sorry to miss you. You must have already left for work. Look, I wondered if you wanted to come away for the weekend. There'll be about 10 of us, including someone called Sam Brent, who says he was at college with you, and he remembers that you were brilliant at rock and roll. They've decided it'll be on October the 9th, Friday night till Sunday. Anyway, I'll put the details in the post. I know you're busy at the moment, so don't feel you have to come, but just let me know one way or the other when you can. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Question 2. You hear 2 people talking about a water sports centre.
So, how did you like the new sports centre?
Well, there's a wide choice of things to do. It's just that their advertisement said something to suit all the family.
Uh-huh.
I wish they'd had water games for the under fives. There was nothing really suitable for them. But you can learn to windsurf or sail, and you have the freedom to go anywhere in the lake.
Isn't that a bit dangerous?
Not really. Nobody's allowed in the water without a life jacket, and a rescue boat is on hand all the time.
Sounds great.
It was.
So, how did you like the new sports center?
Well, there's a wide choice of things to do. It's just that their advertisement said something to suit all the family.
Uh-huh.
I wish they'd had water games for the under fives. There was nothing really suitable for them. But you can learn to windsurf or sail, and you have the freedom to go anywhere in the lake.
Isn't that a bit dangerous?
Not really. Nobody's allowed in the water without a life jacket, and a rescue boat is on hand all the time.
Sounds great.
It was.
All right, so what is the answer to number 1? B? Yes, letter B. Congrats. And number 2. What's the answer to number 2? Oh, B, very good. You're great. Excellent. BB. Brilliant. Right, and now paper 5, the last paper, is going to test your speaking skills. This is an exam that is normally taken in pairs, and it lasts about 40 minutes per pair. It has 4 parts, and it tests lots of speaking skills like interaction skills, turn taking, individual long turn, and so on. Part 1 is an interview. Here, the examiner is going to ask you questions about your personal life, about your family, likes and dislikes, work, and so on. Part 2 is an individual long turn. You have to talk for 1 minute about 2 pictures. Yeah, so you have to compare the pictures, describe what is going on, and answer a question. There's always a question for you to talk about the 2 pictures. So you talk on your own for 1 minute. Part 3 is what we call collaborative task. You and your partner, the other candidate, have to discuss about something and reach a decision. Yeah, so you have to agree, disagree, give your opinions, ask for opinion, and then come to a decision at the end. Yeah, this part lasts about 3 minutes. There are 2 minutes for the discussion and a last minute for you to tell the examiner what you decided. Part 4 is also a discussion. Then the examiner asks questions about the topic you talked in part 3. So just some questions about your opinion about some different topics. 4 minutes, and that's the speaking test. So this is the FCE. This is B2 first. And who is FCE for? Novice or experienced teachers. Teachers who are at B1 level. So if you think you have B1 level and you want to reach B2, or if you are at B2 and you would like to develop a little bit more so that you go to CAE with more confidence, the B2 first is also for you. Teachers who are interested in improving their language awareness and skills. As you could notice, the FCE B2 first is going to test all the areas of English. So you really have to study deeply the areas of English, right? So it makes you more aware of language. The more aware you are, the better teacher you become. Teachers searching for an international qualification. Nowadays, it's extremely important that we prove our level of English. So it's not only say, put in our CVs, I have C1 level, I have C2 level. We also have to prove that. We have to validate our level of language. And we can do that by getting an international certificate. Okay, Fabienne. Because companies, schools, universities, they don't accept the information you have on your CV. You have to either take a proficiency test to enter, or you have a globally recognized certificate that they accept. Oh, okay, she is really C1, she is really B2. So she can have the job. She is good for the position. She's good for the course. Okay. Yeah, it happens to many people, right, Fabienne? And of course, teachers who want to become better professionals, yeah? Because if we study the language in a deeper way, of course, we are going to become more confident teachers, and we'll be able to tackle with students' difficulties with more knowledge, with more property, yeah? So B2 first comes before C1 advanced, and then there is the last one, which is C2 proficiency, yeah? So first, advanced, proficiency. Yeah, these are the language exams. There are some before, preliminary, key, and also the young learners, okay? All right. Also some important information about, I'll just change one thing here. Some other important information about B2 first. How can we prepare for this exam? Because the exam happens, oh my God, I'm having problems here. The exam happens in a certain date in an authorized center, but the preparation for it is up to you. You can prepare by yourself, you can prepare in a school, you can prepare with self-employed professional like me, for example. The way you choose to prepare is all yours, right? It's good when you prepare with a professional, with a teacher, because the teacher has been there. So the teacher can guide you through this way of preparing for Cambridge language exams. So this guidance is extremely important so that you can really improve and really be apt to the test. Another point that is extremely important, and when you have good guidance, you'll be directed to that, is taking mock tests. The more mocks you take, the more prepared you feel. Because there's all a question of timing as well. It's not only language knowledge, it's timing as well. So everything is really important when preparing for these exams. Where can you take the test? There are authorized Cambridge centers in Brazil, lots of them, yeah? And in the Cambridge website, I'm going to share the link with you in a minute, okay? I'll put it in the chat. There is the Cambridge site and then all the centers available. So you can type there and you're going to see all the states, look for your state or city, and then you can find an authorized center. The exams are always presential, face-to-face. You have to go to the center. The preparation course, no, you can do it online. It's just a prep course. But the exam, you have to be there. You have to go to the center. So you have to find a center close to you. And how much does it cost? The exam happens twice a year, normally, in the middle of the year and at the end of the year. And it costs, FCE costs around 1,000 reais. It varies a little from center to center, not a lot, okay? Yes, in Manaus, Cultura Inglesa. Normally, Cultura Inglesa is an authorized center, so Cultura Inglesa, culturas inglesas around Brazil apply Cambridge exams. And 1,000 reais. So it's really important to prepare well because we don't want to waste money. Yeah, it's very expensive, especially now, but it's really worth it. From my point of view, it's a certificate that can bring you a lot of improvement in the language and also a more recognized CV, a more competitive CV. Okay, okay, no problem. I'll make it available later. I'll check where. No problem, dear. Yeah. Okay, about FC, do you have any question? Everything I said about B2 first can be related to C1 advanced as well, but the level is different and the cost is also different. It's more expensive. Yeah. But of course, it's recognized. You have to study the language deeply. People say that from B2 first to C1 advanced, you need to improve more than from C1 advanced to C2 proficiency. Yeah, so there's a huge gap, level gap between B2 first and C1 advanced. FC, I know because I've just searched, is 1,000 reais, around 1,000 reais. C2 must be 1,500 maybe. More expensive, more expensive. Yes. Okay. Any other question? Can we move on? This was what I was going to say about B2 first. Now let's go to TKT. So TKT is another Cambridge examination, but it tests your teaching knowledge, your teaching knowledge of the principles of ELT. Right, there are 5 TKT tests, 5 exams. The core modules are modules 1, 2, and 3. Each module is a different exam and a different certificate. Let me just check the chat. Okay, Fabiani. We also have TKT Young Learners and TKT Clio. TKT Clio is about content and language integrated learning. Young Learners and Clio are the specialist modules. I'm going to talk about the core modules because these are for all the teachers. It is really complete. And if you intend to take Young Learners and Clio, you will be better prepared if you start from modules 1, 2, and 3, the core modules. Okay. So Module 1, TKT Module 1 talks about language and background to language learning and teaching. Yes. Let me leave it this way. And there are 3 parts. Part 1 is related to describing language and language skills. So here we cover grammar, lexis, phonology, functions, reading, writing, listening, speaking. Yeah, so how to teach these things, how to name these things. Part 2 is about background to language learning. So here we talk about motivation, exposure and focus on form, the role of error, the differences between L1 and L2, learner characteristics, learner needs, and approaches to language teaching. Very important, very complete. And part 3 is background to language teaching. So here we talk about presentation techniques, practice activities, and assessment types and tasks. So Module 1 covers a lot of content, and it's about this nomenclature for ELT, the names and the principles, the terms that we have to know if we want to be better professionals, right? This is Module 1. So all this content and an exam. For you to have an idea of the exam, all the 3 modules, all the TKT tests, they have 80 questions. They are all objective and multiple choice. And you have to answer them within 80 minutes. Okay, 80 questions, 80 minutes. Let's try this one. These are questions for Module 1. So I'll give you 2 minutes to try to answer the correct answer, A, B, or C. Try to choose the correct answer. So what's the answer to number 14? Can you help me? A? Yes, very good. Letter A. What about 15? Homophones? A? Yes, very good. Letter A. 16, what do you think? C? Yes. Letter C, great. Wow, congratulations, you're great. 17. Kawane B. Ah, Kawan, you know, right? Yes, letter What did you say, Kawan? Letter B. Okay. Lexical sets. Okay, good. So we get acquainted, we get familiarized with all these names, all these terms, which is so important. Okay, moving on. This was module 1. Module 2. Module 2 is about lesson planning and use of resources for language teaching, which is great. So now we are thinking about another preparation, another exam. Part 1, planning and preparing a lesson or sequence of lessons. So we talk about aims, we talk about the components of a lesson plan, we talk about the sequence of a lesson, we talk about assessment activities. In part 2, we talk about selection and use of resources. Here we are going to understand how to consult reference material, how to select course books, how to use supplementary materials, how to use teaching aids. Yeah. Very nice module 2. Very useful. Everything we learn during the TKT prep course, we can use every day in our classes. Let's try an activity from module 2, right? So we have here, number 16, it's a lead-in, and there are these 3 stages. And about the aims of these stages, you have to choose the option that is not appropriate. 2 are correct, 1 is wrong. So circle the wrong alternative for 16 and 17. Go on. Okay, so 16, what do you have? A, B, or C is not appropriate. B. Yes, very good. B. Wow, you're great. You can face the TKT, the FCE, you're ready. And 17, what do you think? Which one is not? A, B, or C? Not this one, Lavinia. Yes, letter A. This is not. Okay, but they are scanning. And as it is a scanning activity, consequently, reading for specific information. Great. So imagine 80 questions testing this kind of teaching knowledge. How nice. It's a pleasure to study for this exam. And then finally, we have module 3, which is related to managing the teaching and learning process. Another exam. Part 1, teachers and learners language in the classroom. So here we talk about using language appropriately, identifying functions, in categorizing learners' mistakes. What kind of mistakes they made? Why? How can we deal with them? Part 2 is related to classroom management. So what are the teachers' roles? How can we group learners? How can we correct learners? How can we give feedback? Such relevant topics, aren't they? So let's try Module 3 now. So again, read the strategy, the correction strategy for the situation, but one is not appropriate. One strategy is not good. So you're going to choose the one that is not suitable. Go on. Okay, great. 65A, excellent. This is not appropriate. 66. Yes, Murilo. Great. 66C, well done. And the last one. Great, Lavinia. Yes, 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 very good. So while we study this kind of topics, the theory behind correction, for example, we analyze things. We bring our classroom into the course and we can discuss, we can have support. Yes, letter A, Fabienne. Okay. I love the TKT. So these were the 3 modules. Yeah. And who is the TKT for? Novice or experienced teachers. Okay, you can be a teacher starting now. Teachers at least at B1 level, can be B1 above, but not lower than B1 because you won't be able to understand the test. Teachers interested in improving their ELT knowledge, yes, you can really do that by studying for the TKT. It's important to say that all the 5 tests, they are independent and there is no order. You can take the 5 TKT exams at once or only one. You can take modules 1, 2, and 3 at once, or you can take only module 2, for example, okay? Teachers searching for an international qualification. The same happens with teaching certificates. Yes, nowadays, lots and lots of companies, schools, they require international certifications. Right now we have lots of bilingual schools in Brazil, and they are requiring international certifications like the TKT. So you need to prove. It's not only write on your CV that you have been a teacher for 30 years. You have to prove that you have the knowledge by showing by attaching to your CV an international qualification like this one. And this is accepted worldwide, okay? Also, the TKT is the best way of taking a pre-CELTA course. Everything we see in theory in the TKT prep course, you're going to do in practice in the CELTA. Everything. So when you take the CELTA after the TKT, the core modules of TKT, you feel much more prepared because you are already aware of all the terms you're going to see in the CELTA. And for example, in my prep course for the TKT, I give lots of tips for the CELTA because I can relate all the time. So all the topics we learn for the TKT, we can relate with the CELTA. So I always show them how that is done in the CELTA. How can we prepare for the TKT? The same way as the B2 first. You can do it by yourself. You can buy a book and study if you're good at that. Or you can go to a school, or you can hire a private teacher. The preparation is up to you, but the test has to be taken at an authorized center, okay? Yes, and how much? The TKT exam, I think, is the cheapest Cambridge examination. It is around 300 reais each test, okay, each module. It varies a little, okay? It depends on the center, but it doesn't vary a lot, right? Yes, and the title of my webinar is what are the advantages, right? What are the advantages? So I wanted to make you aware of how the exams worked. Yes, so you could have a real experience with that, what you are expected to do in those exams. And if you decide to take them, if you decide to go for these Cambridge examinations, what are the benefits? From the moment you start studying for these exams, you will experience more confidence, yeah? Because you talk about exactly the things you will be teaching. So you will deal with lesson preparation, you will deal with your learners' problems and difficulties with more property, with more confidence, yeah? This is a great advantage. As you'll be studying the language and teaching skills with experienced professionals, you will have a more complete repertoire of strategies to use with your learners whenever they need some variety, they need different kinds of activities, and you will feel that you have a greater list of strategies to use. Well, they are globally recognized certificates. So you will validate your knowledge, your English language knowledge and your teaching knowledge for the world, yeah? Another important advantage, Cambridge certificates don't expire. So you don't have to take them every 2 years, for example, like the TOEFL. From the time you acquire globally recognized certifications, consequently, you have better job opportunities. I was searching in a group on Facebook. It's a group for job offers for teachers. All of them, 100% required TEFL certificates. TEFL is teaching English as a foreign language, like the CELTA, for example. Yeah. So beyond having a certain level of English that is proved So we need certificate to prove. We also need the teaching certificate. Yeah, so you have the whole world of opportunities. Now with the online thing, you literally have the whole world of opportunities. But you need certificates. And when you go for the B2 first or the TKT, you will have more experience to face these more advanced qualifications such as C1 advanced. I put CAE. I know it's not CAE, but it's more famous. It's better known as CAE. C1 advanced or C2 proficiency, and the CELTA, as I said. Okay, because you really know what they are about if you start from B2 first or the TKT and the TKT. These two things are aligned, language and teaching, are perfect. Yes, for our CPD, for us to become more thorough teachers, professionals, and develop our jobs in a more consistent way. Okay? This is how I see it, and this is what I would like to tell you. Do you have any questions? No questions? Well, here is my Instagram profile. Oh, do you have groups? Yes. I have groups for B2 first for teachers and TKT for teachers. Yes, I have. It's starting in July. Yeah. In one semester, I prepare teachers for the 3 core modules. One semester, 3 core modules. I'll give you the link in my website. This is my website. There is a window about courses, and then there is the TKT. And then you have all the information about the TKT, including sample tests. So if you want to give it a try before deciding if you want to take it, you can find a sample test in my website. Okay, so there you have the dates of the groups, you have the price, you have the content of the course. Yeah, and you can find me. Thank you, Kawane, Linda. You can find me in my Instagram if you have any other question. In my website, you also find my WhatsApp. There is also a WhatsApp group for teachers. And if you have any question, you can contact me either on Instagram or WhatsApp. Have a look. People, I'd like to thank you so much for being here on this Friday. I hope I have shed some light on your doubts, on your questions about these 2 Cambridge examinations. And if there is any other thing I can do to help you, please contact me. Okay, thank you so much for being here. It was great to be with you. Okay, bye-bye. Bye, Murilo. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, get in touch, Liliane. Thank you, Kawane. Bye.